Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Angel from English Education Study Program 2020 PGRI Wiranegara University. It's nice opportunity. I'll have a little speech about teenage pregnancy for completing the English for Public Speakers assignment. Okay, before we go further, let me tell you that puberty is period of transition from childhood to adulthood. Puberty is a time when they are looking for identity and meaning in life. At this time, teenagers also have a great curiosity about everything. No wonder some of them often take a risky decision just to feel things that they don't know, including the mystery of sexuality. Many of them feel impatient about it. Sexual behavior is any behavior that is driven by sexual desire for both genders. Adolescent pregnancy is a pregnancy that occurs in women aged 14 to 19 years, either through the premarital process or marriage. The number of free sex among adolescents will allow an increase in early pregnancy in adolescents. This is unwanted pregnancy, usually arises as a result of free sex or early marriage. In the era of globalization we are experiencing today, teenagers must be saved from the negative impact of globalization. Globalization has a global meaning which is like freedom. Many foreign cultures have entered while these cultures are not compatible with our Eastern culture. For example, the culture of free sex that is derived in Western culture is not compatible with our culture, and it's contrary to the basis of our country. Yes, Pancasila. Promiscuity is a form of deviant behavior. The term free is meant to cross the boundaries of existing norms. The problem of free sex often arises both in the environment and in media. At this time, freedom of association has reached a dangerous level. As many as 63% of teenagers have had sex with their girlfriend or written people to satisfy their needs. This sizable percentage is very concerning and attracts attention. Moreover, this is an average in an illegitimate relationship. This is unusual. Free sex has an impact in various ways, namely on mental, psychological, and reproductive health. Based on the data and the cases that occur, the problem that we need to discuss is reflection on the cases, impact, and solution to deal with rampant free sex culture in this era of globalization. Okay, the reflection on the cases of the emergence of free sex culture. The beginning of a teenager falling into free sex may not just happen. There must be something that makes them want to do that. The following are factors that cause teenagers to have free sex, including the first is the fading power of faith, and the second, lack of parental attention, and then the third, curiosity, and then the fourth, non-educational spectacle, and then the fifth, the poor knowledge about the danger of free sex, and then the last, paid association. Okay, next, reflection on the negative impact of free sex culture. Free sex culture has more negative impact on the life and dignity of teenagers or adults who do it. These negative impacts are loss of self-esteem, performance decrease, pregnant out of wedlock, abortion and suicide, tarnish the family name, mental pressure, and sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, for the last is moral reflection against free sex culture. There's no problem or problem without solution. The issue of free sex must be handled by parents, school, and the government, and of course the youth themselves. Moral reflection is needed to counteract it. Here is moral reflection that can be done to counteract the culture of free sex. The first, avoid the bad environment, and the second, limit time out of the house, and the third, fill in free time, and then the fourth, be careful on socializing. And the fifth, keep in faith, and the last, as the more important, is the role of parents. Now, okay, for the conclusion, the occurrence of free sex among adolescents is due to many factors, the most important of which is the rapid development of the era. This makes the association free so that many teenagers hang out without restriction and ethic. From the factors that cause free sex described above, it can be seen that the things must be considered and must be avoided by adolescents. Knowing the effect of free sex, it turns out that it affects the future of teenagers. Okay, imagine if a teenager who became pregnant as a result of free sex was forced to drop out of school due to his action. When a teenager turns out to be infected with HIV, the teenager must be isolated so that he doesn't transmit the disease. From the impacts above, it's known that it's better for teenagers from as early as possible to have been given the correct understanding of free sex. There needs to be reminded to continue to do moral reflection so that later the teenager understand free sex and understand the risk that born when we doing it. Teenagers must grow up into adults without free sex and drugs. Okay, that's it. A little speech about teenage pregnancy. Hopefully you will be more careful to yourself. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.